Welcome, folks. This is Soothing Neanderthal or Yoga with Forrest again. I'm here with a really good friend, Travis. We're at Warrior Wellness Program. Travis and I met sometime around, I want to say maybe 18, 19, somewhere in there. Where I see come in here at Warrior Wellness Program, and I just finished teacher training. And one of the things I remember from him is saying something about, he said before Forrest, he used to practice dirty yoga. Whatever that means, but I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Travis.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate your time, Forrest. I had found yoga probably circa 2010 when Tony Horton and Beachbody and P90X was all the craze, and there was a Yoga X DVD that was part of that series, and that's how I discovered yoga. But when I say I practiced dirty yoga, I never put any effort into controlling my breathing, making sure that my movement and breathing really matched up with the position and shapes that I was putting my body into. And it wasn't until I started practicing with Forrest that I started practicing clean yoga and actually, lining up the breath work with the shapes. And really taking my practice to a different level, and finding a calmness within my body and my mind from practicing with the breath work and movement combined.
So you said that would you consider that mindfulness then with the breath work with movement combined?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one way you could certainly put it. I guess for me, when I'm able to practice yoga, I'm able to not worry about the things that I've been through, the things that are upcoming, that I might be anxious about or a little bit worried about. I can just focus, stay in the moment. And for me, that, I don't want to call it an escape necessarily, but just being able to be present, focused on my breath and the movement. There's something about that that's very restoring for me afterwards. Once I finish my practice, my mind, my body feels very calm and at peace. And that's something special in this crazy, hectic life. If you can find a slice of that every now and then, you're doing something right.
Yep.
And I was able to start finding that. One of the ways that I can find a slice of that is through yoga. So very appreciative.
Right. No worries. Thank you for being a guinea pig on a lot of the things that I'm like, okay, I wonder if this will work or not, so to speak. But out of all the things that, that's kind of helped you with yoga or with my approach or whatever to adaptive yoga, is there one specific, whether it's a shape or a concept or a theory that had the most impact on you, and what would that be?
If I had to narrow it down to one aspect, it's how you close out your practice with people, Forrest, and it's unique to you, or maybe you kind of took it and tweaked it from somebody else. I'm not sure, but either way, you've made it your own at this point. And I've practiced with several other yogis, and you're the only one that really ends the way that you do, and you say it much more better than I do. You have your own way of putting it, but essentially, whatever peace or comfort that you found during this practice, just know that it is you. It's you've always had it, and it's there to access whenever you would like. I think you say it much better than I just did.
Yeah, I think you said it beautifully there, Travis.
It's and that resonated with me, because it's not it's no magic stick that you're waving standing up there on your mat as the instructor. It really is my practice. Yes, you're guiding it, but you always give me the freedom to make it my own, and I appreciate that and that flexibility. And that always resonates with me at the very end of the practice, saying, hey, whatever you got out of this, it's you. It's not me. And it makes you feel good about taking the time to practice that day and giving yourself, you know, that hour to kind of get away and recharge and restore and hopefully find a little bit of peace and calmness.
Right on. I do appreciate the kind words there, Travis. And so what we'll do from here now is everybody will just kind of I will basically start and end the practice, so we can get an idea of what this is. But bottom line is it's kind of like a direct way, but not totally direct, in saying that all that is required of you is already within. And that's so important. Once I realized that, it was like a whole bunch of doors opened up for me, not only, you know, professionally, but personally as well. And then it's just hard to put words into some of these things that we experience. I know it is for me. You're one of the better ones at it, Travis, where you can actually take your experiences and then place words into them. So I'm very grateful for that. But wherever you're at, you can do this laying down, you can do this seated. Just come into whatever comfortable shape or position that you can find. You can close your eyes or you can leave them open. If you leave them open, maybe you gaze or at something or look at something that's not moving, just kind of what we call soft gaze. And then prepare your mind to do this little small bit of yoga. Like Travis said, everything that you dealt with before and everything that you got to deal with after, let that go and prepare your mind to practice yoga. And just sit with your breath for these next few moments. Maybe you notice air coming in and out of your nostrils, or maybe you notice the rise and fall of your ribs and belly. Welcome sensations as your body frees itself. If this gets a little boring, or maybe you notice that your mind is kind of rambling, and that's okay. Just thank your mind for doing its job, and then maybe on your inhale, you affirm, I am. And then on your exhale, what it is that you want more of, maybe peace, maybe calmness or whatever, but I am, and on your exhale, I am peaceful. Inhale, I am, and exhale, peaceful. Or you can replace peaceful with whatever you need. This is your practice. I guide you through it, but at the end of the day, you do the work. And to go ahead and allow your body to go back to naturally breathing itself and welcome sensations. And then note how you've been the observer, how you have watched all of the different sensations come and go, and everything just as it is. Spacious, unchanging awareness as changing sensations arise, unfold, and then they say goodbye. Changing sensations reveals unchanging awareness. Maybe you deepen your breath here. You can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, or maybe you rock your head side to side. And then invite in any larger movements you need to help bring yourself into a more waking state. Bring either one palm or both palms together at your heart or sternum. Feel your midline, or notice the sensations of your midline. And then on your next exhale, let your chin drift down towards your sternum. But don't let your sternum drift down, drift it up towards your chin as well. This feeling of gratitude, grateful for taking this time for yourself, grateful for the practice of yoga, and grateful for relief. I'm very honored and grateful I was allowed to guide everyone through this journey today. Please remember that any feelings of peace or calmness or whatever it is that you would like to call them that you're experiencing right now, just know that these feelings are absolutely you. They never ever leave you, and you always, always, always have access to them. The awesomeness within me sees and honors the awesomeness within you. Namaste.
Namaste.
That was fantabulous.